Hello everybody, you're gonna have to deal with this kind of different camera. I'm using my phone right now for recording, which is, fine, except the angle is a bit lower. The reason I'm using that is, you can see it's kind of dark. It's actually not that dark in here at all, but the camera I have is very bad when it comes to lighting. It has to be like, you can't, anything past, like anything past 5 o'clock, you can't. If it isn't like full daylight, you can't record shit because it's so dark. But I wanted to. I have a big stack of fucking DVDs out here, like 13 DVDs, because I went to a store with 3 of my good friends from school. So that was really cool. This was like a store that sold like used. They had some new stuff, but mostly used DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs, albums, like box sets, like film box sets, books, comics, video games, like all like old and new one, Xbox, PlayStation, Game Boy, Nintendo DS, everything, and LP, and big LP. Sorry, I just the records. That's what I'm trying to say. Music records and stuff. So it's a really cool place basically. And they had that offer, which was like 10 DVDs for about, what is that? 10 DVDs for $12, I think would the valuta would transfer to. So 10 DVDs for, yeah, about that. Anyway, this is cheap, and I picked up a bunch of stuff, and I thought I'll show it. This video might be connected to the update, like the monthly update. But I'm shooting this now because there's a lot of DVDs and I really don't want to take them all out and talk about them at a later point, and I feel like talking about them now, so I'm gonna do that. Again, sorry my face is a bit dark. I can actually try and fix that right now, if you'll just bear with me for a second, because I actually have a lamp on me desktop, so we turn that on. That'll do something. And just not directly on my face, but yeah, there we go. Oh, that was much better. So yeah, let's just go right into it. There's a couple ones that I'm gonna talk about lastly, because there's a funny story to those certain DVDs. So I'm just gonna. I see there's a lot of midget entertainment right here. Turns out certain Blu-ray players hate midget entertainment DVDs. Like, I once tried to play, I think that must have been Cabin in the Woods, released by Midget Entertainment, and it just wouldn't play on my girlfriend's Blu-ray player for some reason. I haven't tried on my own, but that could be a problem because my primary source of playing things like DVDs is my Blu-ray player. So, I could use my Xbox, but I prefer my Blu-ray player now because that's a thing I got and I like to use it. So yeah, but I'll just jump straight into it. The first thing I picked up was Drag Me to Hell. I noticed it's on Netflix, but this is by Sam Raimi. This is supposed to be really good, like Evil Dead. It's the same dude, right? Yeah, it is. I'm not being stupid here, am I? No, same dude. Evil Dead. I don't know why I even doubted myself. Well, it's supposed to be really good, and sort of like Evil Dead, like some of the elements. And I know it's on Netflix, and I have it on my watch list on Netflix. But here's the DVD. It was part of that, 10. I had to find 10 DVDs, and it came with a cool slipcover. So I thought I'm just gonna pick it up here and now, because it's nice to own the DVD. So So I'm looking forward to watching that. This is also the unrated director's cut. So I think that's a bit different from the Netflix version, because Netflix usually put the standard version, I believe. Right, yeah, they should do that. This next one is Planet Terror, the Grindhouse film. I've wanted to watch this for a while. I was actually going to buy the Grindhouse special kind of Blu-ray set, collector's Blu-ray set. But again, I wanted to watch Planet Terror. I'm disappointed in myself. I have not done it yet. This was there, and I was like, all of these I'm gonna upgrade because they're part of like a special Blu-ray thing that I want. But for now, I really want to watch the movie, and so Planet Terror. Looking forward to checking that out. This has like an empty thing in it, and the film right there. So that's you got the film. That's nice. See if I can close this again. Got a bunch of stuff. This next one is the eye in a very special kind of thing. I picked this up because I saw it and I was like, I've seen trailers from the eye on a bunch of my films, and I thought, the film looked kind of interesting. I might check it out at some point. And the more I saw the trailer, the more I actually wanted to check the film out. And then I fell over this copy, which is, that is just cool. So this is the normal cover with the hand coming out of the eye, and then you get that shit. And I thought, that's just cool, I can't pass that up. A film like I wanted to watch, plus it looks fucking awesome, so, the eye. Right there, pick that up, it's gonna be really cool. This next one is actually this is I'm a Legend, with Will Smith. The super shiny 2-disc edition. This is really shiny. So, also on the back, it's really shiny. I actually watched this like no more than a couple days ago with my neighbor, who is also a friend, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's not the world's greatest film at all, but I enjoyed it, and I think it's worth owning on DVD. Plus, this is super shiny. I have a thing with like super shiny things or things like the Eye DVD. I just must own them because they look fancy as fuck. And it's not a bad film. I enjoyed it. So shiny 2-disc version. Why would I pass it up when it's a fine film? Speaking of Will Smith, I've just begun, because for some reason I never did that in my childhood, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. For some reason I didn't have the TV channels that sent that stuff. And around the ages of 10, I just completely stopped watching TV. So, yeah. But I rediscovered that on Netflix, and I've been watching that for the last couple of days, and it's really funny. I really like it. I think it's a funny show. This next one is Quarantine, if that's correctly said. Quarantine. It's the American remake of Wreck, which I do have Wreck 2 on Blu-ray behind me right here. It's not that I, prefer American remakes. Wreck is some Spanish zombie movies. From what I understand. Now, personally, I have not watched it because, as you saw, this was Wreck 2 I own on Blu-ray. And from the back, I can understand that Wreck 2 takes, starts directly like 5 minutes after the first one. I don't own the first one. For some reason, I can't find the first one. I can find it on the internet like quite easy, but I can't find it in like stores anywhere. And it's one of those things I actually have to look for on the internet. So that's kind of like, why? But yeah, this looks pretty cool. It looked pretty cool. It looked interesting. I wanted to watch this, and it was there, so I was like, might as well pick it up. So, yeah. Next up is 30 Days of Night, Dark Days, which comes in the red case, which is kind of cool. This is the sequel to, 30 Days of Night, which I have like a special... That's not here anymore. I have a special kind of thing over there where it's like, the film, and you get a little sample of the comics. But this is one of those where I'm like, it's there, it's a sequel. The first one was kind of cool. It's not my favorite thing. Vampire's not quite, my favorite thing, but it was a cool film. So I thought, I might as well pick this up because this is a sequel, and I, kind of want to watch it. Because the first one was cool, so. for the Ladies of Night. This is kind of a mistake, not because I don't like the film, but this is Urban Legend Final Cut, and this is actually the sequel to the first one, and I thought it was like an alternative cut, because it was called Final Cut, and I thought it was like, it's the first film, but like a director's cut, but they just called it Final Cut instead, like an extended version. No, it's actually a sequel, so, and, I know not all of the Urban Legend films are like connected, but I think this one might be to the first one. I'm not sure, I gotta check that out before I watch it, but it's still, I wanted to watch the Urban Legend films. I think they're kind of like, I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream, so, so basically slashers, I guess. So that's cool. Not that I picked the sequel up. I've done that before. I did that with Halloween, the remake, which is not like extremely good in it, like by itself. But when you watch the sequel after watching the first one, it just makes no sense. And that was the first Halloween movie I ever watched, so that's kind of really bad. This next one is oh shit, it's Ghostbusters, and I wanted Ghostbusters on DVD. It's actually in my shopping basket on Amazon, and the still I'm buying for, so it's like really cheap. However, it might take a while before I actually pull myself together and buy that, and it has to be shipped. And the last couple of days, I've just had a strange urge to watch Ghostbusters. I watched Ghostbusters when I was a child. I haven't watched it since, but I've had such an urge to watch Ghostbusters. And there's been so many like Ghostbusters references and all kind of like with people I've talked about in songs and television series. And when I say songs, I mean Thunderbusters. If you don't know what that is an AC/DC song mixed with Ghostbusters. That's cool. Check that out. But yeah, I've had an urge to watch Ghostbusters, and they had it, and I was like, if I pick this up now, I can pick the Blu-ray up later, and I can watch Ghostbusters now. So, Ghostbusters. Now, when you have to pick 10 movies between a lot of movies, and there's a lot of shit you don't want, you end up with stuff like this, which is Return of the Killer Tomatoes. I don't know in the first one, but, this is kind of funny, because I had 11 movies, and I was like, I want them all. The only one I'm doubting is this one, and then the other one I had was Wanted, which is a really good movie. It's not a horror movie, but it's a really good action movie. It has Morgan Freeman in it. It's the one where they can curve bullets by shooting like that. That's kind of weird, but it's a cool movie. So, I talked to my friends, which I've seen Wanted with him. We saw Wanted together at the school, because we do that sometimes, like stay late, because this is a media school, so there's like projectors everywhere, so you can just watch films on the big screen all the time, after school time, of course. But I asked him, what should I take, Wanted or Return of the Killer Tomatoes? His response was, this is Return of the Killer Tomatoes. You can't really argue with that title. He doesn't know what it is, but it's Return of the Killer Tomatoes. You can't really argue with that title. Now, the funny thing is that after I bought these 10 films, the place, they have, like, I think it's, for every 100 you buy, you get to actually take another DVD from that shelf. So he's like, yeah, you just go over and take another DVD. I was like, I spent, like, 20 minutes deciding which one I want, and you said I can have both of them, actually. So, I picked this up. I didn't get Wanted though, but I'll get to that later. This last one is Behind the Mask, Race of Leslie Venom. I believe I said that right. This is a film I saw a trailer from on the internet for like a long time ago. I think I saw it on one of my films as well. But I saw a trailer for it, and I heard really good things about it, and I was like, I really want to watch this. But then I never actually got around to getting it, and I kind of forgot all about it, and then one of my friends pulled it out. And I immediately just grabbed it from their hand, like, I'm getting this one. Of course, I asked them afterwards if they were going to buy it, because, I don't want to be extremely rude. They, they just wanted to see what kind of movie it was. But, so I ended up getting that out, which is really interesting. I really want to watch this film, so that's awesome. Now, about Wanted, so they said, I had my 10 DVDs, and they were like, yo, you can take an extra one over there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get Wanted. So I got Wanted, and I got off the store, and later it turned out that before I went home, we also went to a Comic Express, which is like a comic book store. But it turned out the Wanted DVD was actually empty. I was sitting in the car and I was like, oh wait, this is empty. So I went back and I asked if I could have the DVD, but those DVDs are kind of like things that they just want to get rid of them basically. So they didn't have the DVD for Wanted. So they said, you take another random movie over there, and take an extra one for for the troubles. So I got 2 movies because Wanted wasn't there. So what I got was actually 2 movies which I have watched, but I like both of them. And these were like I had to pick fast because I was had to go to another place to shopping mall because my sister needed contact lenses. I'm sorry. Anyway, I was in a hurry, and these were 2 films I knew were good. This one is 1408, based on Stephen King, with this has Samuel L. Jackson in it. It's a pretty good film. I believe it's on Netflix. I'm not sure, but I believe it's on Netflix because I believe I watched it there. But it's a good film, and it can't hurt to have this on DVD. I actually thought I had this on DVD, and this was I bought what I thought was this movie from the same place, and it came in a white case, but it had like an advertisement for this movie, so I just assumed that was Last House on the Left, the remake, and that was a totally different thing. So, yeah, but I got this because I thought, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. Next up is Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon, which I also took. I know it's on Netflix. I've seen it on Netflix, but I wanted it on DVD because now I had the chance, and I really like this film. I think it's cool. It's by James Wan, the same guy I saw, and you can see it's the same guy because there's like a scene where a dude gets his entire leg blown up by a shotgun. So it's a cool film. It's with Kevin Bacon. Come on, I like Kevin Bacon. He's in my favorite movie. So, I just like Kevin Bacon. He's nice. His name is Bacon, for fuck's sake. How can you not like him? But yeah, it's like a thriller drama, like gang kills son for revenge film basically. But I think it's really good. I would highly recommend you checking out Death Sentence because it's really good. So those are the 12 films I got in that offer. With, of course, the missing one and the extra DVD and all that stuff. I got one other one, which is outside the store. They had, actually 10 DVDs for half of that price, like outside the store. However, I'm not too upset about that, because that wasn't really 10 DVDs there I would, really like. But there was one, and I chose to just buy that singly, which is Wishmaster. I've wanted to see this for a long time. I didn't know so many people were in this. In fact, I didn't actually know any of the people who made this, which is funny because I've wanted it for a long time. But it's a Wes Craven film. I didn't know that. Wes Craven is awesome. And it was Robert Englund. I didn't know that. Tony Todd. I didn't know that. And Kane Hoover. It's like, how have I not watched this? That's like a wet horror dream. Like, probably wet of blood, but still. That's cool. Like, the last film I saw with all these stars in was Hatchet, which had, the first one had Robert Englund and Kane Hoover. The second one, and Tony Todd. The second one had more of Tony Todd and then Kane Hoover again and then Tom Holland. Yeah, the writer of Child's Play. That's cool. Hatchet, good movie. But, I've wanted to watch this and it was there and I was like, I can't pass these 4 names up. So, yeah, that as well. And those are basically all the films I got. Long story short, I don't have space for all of these films anymore. You can see there's a shit ton of stuff behind me, and over there is where I have my DVDs, and behind me is my box sets, my Blu-rays, my games, and television series, plus just normal movie collections. Shit I don't really know where to place. And then I have standard DVDs, steelbooks, and special DVDs, and giant box sets over there. Basically, I have space for this many DVDs. That's a problem. But it's really cool. You know what's even more a problem? Like, in a few days, I'll get 2 more Blu-rays because I ordered them, which was Seven and Danny Trejo. Or Donnie Tirigo. I'm not entirely sure what the title is. but I was fascinated by it, so I bought it, and my friend says it's a good movie. So, but that was basically all for now. I got a text message like about 5 minutes ago. I should probably have answered, but thank you for watching. There might be a cut right here to the 2 movies I just talked about, which is Seven and the Donnie something. But that's because I just want, might as well put in one video because I don't want to do all this again. So, thank you for watching.